On June 13, 2023, in Clement Town, an area of Dehradun, the capital of Uttarakhand, the afternoon silence was suddenly broken by a phone call. A man living on Tunnel Road C13 called the police, sounding anxious. "Sir, there's a terrible stench coming from the house next door. The smell is so bad it's hard to even stand outside." He muttered nervously and explained that when they checked the house, it was locked from the outside. But they suddenly heard the sound of a child crying from inside. Fear was evident in his voice, hinting that someone might still be inside. The police team rushed to the spot, and the neighborhood gathered outside, anxiously looking at the house where the foul smell was coming from. The landlord, Suhail, who lived on the ground floor, said that the stench was coming from the first floor. The police went upstairs, where they found two doors, the main gate, which was locked from the outside, and another door locked from the inside. However, there was hope the door had a mesh, and the smell seemed to be emanating from it. The police cut the mesh and entered the house, along with some neighbors. The scene inside was horrifying. On the bedroom floor lay two corpses, one male and one female, in such a decomposed state that they were unrecognizable. Blood had leaked from their noses and throats, staining the floor black. Insects crawled over the bodies. But what shocked everyone even more was the sight of a newborn baby lying beside the bodies. The police rushed to the baby and found that, miraculously, it was still alive. The baby appeared to be no more than a week old, weak from hunger and thirst, with insects crawling over its tiny body. It had been lying there next to the corpses since the couple's death. The police immediately sent the baby to the hospital, where doctors began treatment. Meanwhile, the police turned their focus on solving this horrifying mystery. They summoned a forensic team to gather evidence. The landlord revealed that the room had been rented to a couple named Anam and Kashif 4 months ago. As the police investigated, a worried woman arrived at the station to file a missing person report for her husband. She said her husband's phone had been off since June 10th, and she had been unable to reach him since June 12th. Concerned, she had come to Dehradun, where her husband worked, from Saharanpur, Uttar Pradesh. As the police continued their investigation into Kashif and Anam, they found no signs of forced entry or struggle in the house. Everything was in its place, nothing stolen or broken. One door was locked from the outside, and the other from inside, which raised questions. The police initially suspected a suicide, but they wondered why the couple would leave the baby alive if that were the case. If it was a murder, who was the killer, and why didn't any neighbors hear screams or shouting? The bodies were sent for post-mortem, but due to their advanced state of decomposition, determining the exact cause of death was difficult. The police questioned Kashif's family and learned that Kashif had a first wife, Nusrat, with whom he had a child. Anam was his second wife. This information led the police to suspect Nusrat. Could she have been angry about Kashif's second marriage and had them killed? However, when the police interrogated Nusrat, she denied any involvement. She had a good relationship with Kashif and spoke to him regularly, though he had stopped answering her calls on June 10th. After thorough questioning and investigation, the police cleared Nusrat of suspicion. The investigation revealed that Kashif had accumulated a significant amount of debt, around rupee 1 lakh, which had been troubling him. The police now wondered if Kashif, overwhelmed by his debt, had killed his wife and then taken his own life but spared the baby out of love. However, this theory didn't hold up either, as there were no signs of foul play related to the debt. The investigation took a turn when the police reviewed CCTV footage from the area. Although there was no camera near the house, a camera on the main road captured footage of a car on the morning of June 13th. The car was traced back to a man named Ashwat, who revealed that on June 13th, the car had been with a boy named Shahbaz, Anam's brother. This led to a shocking discovery. Shahbaz had been threatening Anam and Kashif's lives. A video of Anam surfaced in which she tearfully mentioned that her brother was planning to kill them. This revelation put Shahbaz at the center of the investigation. Further evidence showed that Shahbaz's phone had been switched off on the night of June 10th, only to be turned back on the next morning, raising suspicion. Eventually, Kashif's father filed a formal complaint against Shahbaz, accusing him of the murders. Under intense questioning, Shahbaz finally confessed to the crime. He revealed that he had brutally murdered Kashif by slitting his throat and then strangled his own sister, Anam, to death. He left the newborn to die from hunger, but did not have the heart to kill the baby himself. Shahbaz's deep-seated resentment towards Kashif, stemming from an incident 8 years ago, had festered into a murderous rage. He saw Kashif as responsible for his humiliation and sought revenge, killing both his sister and her husband in cold blood. The baby, now in the care of its grandparents, survived the ordeal and was recovering in the hospital. Shahbaz is in jail, awaiting trial for his heinous crime. This case serves as a reminder of how anger and hatred can drive a person to commit unimaginable acts. What are your thoughts on this case? Share your views in the comments. If you appreciated our efforts, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.